Hi there. I am Caleb Westbrook, and I am the teacher of English 12 at Dwight Global and English 11. And I'm excited to teach this course this summer. And I've been teaching at Dwight for almost 4 years now. I love the flexibility of online education. A couple years ago, it allowed my wife and I to move with our kids overseas for a year. We moved back, but I think that's just the beauty of online education that it allows flexibility, and I love getting to learn about the sparks and passions that you guys have and the ways that online learning allows you to achieve many of those goals and just to have this global worldwide classroom as we learn together and to utilize many of the online resources and tools that are available. I now live in the Kansas City area, and I've lived most of my life in the Midwest, St. Louis, Kansas City. In addition to teaching, I love spending time with my family, being out in nature, staying active. Of course, as an English teacher, I love reading and writing. Probably no surprise there. As far as the course is concerned, remember this is a fully asynchronous course. But with that being said, I don't want you to feel like you don't have access to your teacher. So feel free to set up an appointment to meet with me one on one or email, reach out. I will respond. I want to help you succeed and do well in the course. And I just look forward to hearing your thoughts and ideas based on what we're engaging with in the course. Some I would say some tools, some tips really to succeed. Communication is always important, so just make sure that you're reaching out. Like I said, you can set up an appointment. There aren't like actual like late penalties or due dates beyond just finishing the course within the 12 weeks that's assigned. But you don't want to fall too far behind. So that kind of like leads into my second point of just like as cliche as it sounds, is just don't fall behind. Don't get too far behind with your work. It's easy in the summer to just say, "Oh, I'll get to it a little bit later." There are no late penalties, and then all of a sudden it's stacking up at the very end. Try not to let that happen, right? And even if you get a little behind, work to catch up in the middle of the summer rather than just waiting until the very, very end. It can feel kind of like it's snowballing. But if it does feel, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming, what do I do? Reach out. Okay, I'd be happy to work with you, come up with a plan. I've also worked in learning support before to help students come up with a plan for organizing their time or getting caught up, things like that. So I'm here to help and to be a resource. The last piece of advice I would give is just to make sure to work sequentially through the course. I've had students at times in summer courses kind of like pick and choose. Oh, I'm going to work on something from week 8 module, now from week 3. It sort of builds, and some of the skills that we introduce early on, you'll use later. But if you don't do those activities early on, you might not have the tools or the resources to benefit you on some of the later assignments. So just make sure you're going sequentially through the course. We'll be reading with three main units. The first one we'll be reading through a collection of essays from Best American Essays 2021, right around the pandemic area. Some just really big events going around the country, and it allows us to kind of think critically while also appreciating and analyzing creative writing in a nonfiction genre. We'll read through the play A Raisin in the Sun, talking about racial equality in the 1960s, some important topics there. And then finally finish with an independent reading unit where you get to pick what you read. And we'll still closely analyze and work on some projects related to that. I'm looking forward to this course. It's going to be a great summer. I look forward to meeting you and getting to know you better.